Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to discuss on some interesting updates. We start with Pablo Gavi as PSG considered signing the Barca Golden Boy this summer. Luis Enrique remains an admirer. We are going to discuss on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about Manchester City sensation Bernardo Silva, as Xavi Hernandez have finally given up on any possibility of signing Bernardo Silva, as João Cancelo's move looks very possible, and Barca don't have that financial means to go for Silva as things stand. So as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. If you're just coming across the channel for the very first time, you are very welcome. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Having already rated Barcelona for Ousmane Dembele this summer, PSG had your eyes on yet another key player for the Catalans in the form of Gavi. Indeed, ROMC Sport reports that Paris Saint-Germain considered signing the possibility of signing the 19-year-old golden boy this summer. Newly appointed manager Luis Enrique is an admirer of the midfield wonderkid, having handed him his Spain debut back in 2021. So, however, despite their obvious interest, PSG quickly gave up any thought of signing Gavi this summer due to multiple factors. For starters, the relationship between the two clubs is dodgy, especially after the entire Dembele fiasco, and as such, Le Parisiens felt that the timing was not right. On top of that, Gavi is a player that Barcelona consider untouchable and non-transferable. The club handed him a long-term contract until 2026 only last year and have registered him as a first-team player with the Spaniard taking over his manager's iconic number 6 shirt. As such, PSG were also aware that there would be no chance of negotiating with Barca for Gavi, and even there was one, the price would be too high. And thus, the Parisian giants did not press ahead with their interest in the 19-year-old starlet. Given that his contract registration had been an issue all through the last season, there had been plenty of speculations in the early part of the summer about Gavi's future. Clubs like Bayern Munich and Chelsea were said to be interested, but Barcelona were never too worried about the situation, as the 19-year-old has always maintained that he wants to stay at the club. And as such, the rumors naturally died down, much like PSG's recent interest. There had also been murmurs that Gavi had been offered to the Parisians as part of the deal to sign a Kylian Mbappe, which reportedly upset the midfielder, prompting him to have a talk with Xavi Hernandez. It is further indicative of the teenage wonderkid's desire to stay and succeed at the club. Of course, Pablo Gavi has always been an important player for us, and by no means do anybody want Gavi to leave at staying stand. Of course, Gavi is going to face some heavy competition in midfield. We know that, especially as Xavi have gone ahead to add two new midfielders in the form of Ilkay Gundogan and Oriol Romeo. But that notwithstanding, Gavi still remains a call to the Barcelona midfield. And throughout this summer, we heard rumors of PSG showing interest in the midfielder, and of course, Barca just gave deaf ears to such interest because they know that Gavi is still here for a long time, and all because of Luis Enrique, who has also been the player's manager while coaching the national team of Spain. But Luis Enrique himself saw that there was no possibility. Gavi is a player who plays for the shirt. Gavi is a passionate man. I think having Gavi for a long time is very important. The game against Getafe, we didn't see Gavi play, and of course he has some issues with injuries. But I think he will be back sooner rather than later. Javi is a huge admirer of Gavi, and there is no way you can expect Javi to allow Gavi to leave. And just being 19 years of age, Gavi has not even reached the peak of his footballing career. He still has a lot to play. And definitely PSG and Barca that have always been in a silent war, a silent beef, especially in some transfers. The recent one being the Usman Dembele saga, which left a lot of Barca fans annoyed. Same with Neymar, same with Messi. I think PSG have had a very terrible record with Barcelona, even though they always do business majority of the time, but they have bad blood running within between them. Let's be honest. PSG is a club that makes Barca fans their blood boils with anger because the club keeps making things just getting irritated, and there was no way that Barca could have still added Gavi after what happened to Usman Dembele. There was no way. I think Enrique himself just saw that it's just like throwing water behind the duck's back. So there was no way for it to materialize. Barca could have even given deaf ears to that because after the disappointment of losing Dembele, which was Javi's key player to the Parisian club, how on earth do you imagine Barca still selling one of their key players there? It was looking so impossible. Then on to the next story of discussion. Shortly after announcing the exit of Usman Dembele, Barca appeared to be on the verge of securing João Cancelo deal. The Manchester City defender looks all set to join Barca on a loan deal. The two parties are close to reaching total agreement. In light of a recent revelation over the player's future, Javi Miguel has come up with an update for Barca's pursuit of Bernardo Silva as well. As per Javi Miguel, João Cancelo's potential arrival could impact Barca's pursuit of Silva. It was earlier reported that Barca are not in a position to finance a move for the Portuguese playmaker, even though he was willing to leave Man City. Barca instead have opted to go after his Portuguese compatriot Cancelo. The former Bayern man is expected to become the club's number one choice in right back. Manchester City, meanwhile, do not want to sell Silva to Barca either. They want to avoid doing a hat trick of sorts by letting three of the top players leaving to Barca. So, should Barca miss out on Silva, the club could be in a precarious situation in regards to pursuit of a new attacking midfielder. Dembele joining PSG now, the club are without reliable replacement. Bernardo Silva was the preferred option for Xavi, but it appears the club must look elsewhere. One opinion is resigning Neymar, which also failed as a player is already an Al Hilal player. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.